Welcome to your deep dive. Today we're tackling something I know you've all been eager to improve. Your golf swing.
That's right.
You sent in a ton of notes and videos,
Yeah.
so clearly you're ready to take your game to the next level. So we're ditching the generic golf advice and diving deep into the world of, get this,
Okay.
swing archetypes.
Yeah, get ready to uncover your own personal swing DNA.
I love it.
Yeah,
Our mission is to decode all those notes and research you sent,
absolutely.
thus some common golf myths, and give you some serious actionable insights to improve your game.
Let's do it.
Let's tee off with a fundamental truth about golf swings.
Okay.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
You got it. And the research you provided really emphasizes that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's body is built differently, which means we all move differently,
Right.
especially when it comes to something as complex as the golf swing.
Absolutely. So how do we make sense of all the conflicting advice out there? I mean, I see shift your weight, clear your hips. What does it all mean?
Well, that's where these swing archetypes come in.
Okay.
And this research, it really flips the script on traditional golf instruction. It's not about achieving one perfect swing. Instead, it's about unlocking your most powerful swing based on your own unique biomechanics.
Okay, color me intrigued. What exactly are swing archetypes?
So researchers Terry Rowles and Dr. Mike Duffy, they've identified 9 distinct swing profiles
9.
based on how your upper and lower body naturally move during your swing.
9, that's so specific. How do they even begin to categorize something as individual as a golf swing?
So it all starts with something called sway gap.
Okay,
And that's essentially how your hips move during your swing.
got it.
So imagine like a line running down the center of your body. As you swing back, do your hips move mostly behind that line,
Okay.
in front of it, or more balanced over it?
Okay, I'm visualizing it.
Yeah,
So like my hips are a gate, and how that gate swings open and closed is key.
exactly. That hip gate movement, that's what determines your swing archetype.
Mhm.
Front post, center post, or rear post.
Okay.
So front post players, they tend to load more onto their lead side early in the swing. Like, think Bryson DeChambeau.
Got it. Like they've got that powerful, almost blocky look to their swing.
Yes, exactly. Then you've got your rear post players.
Okay.
These are your smooth operators like Lydia Ko.
Right.
They shift more towards their trail side during the backswing.
Right. They seem to like coil up like a spring.
Yes.
So where do players like Tiger or Rory fit in?
So those guys would be considered more center post golfers.
Okay.
So they kind of blend those front and rear post tendencies, achieving a more balanced rotation around their center.
Fascinating. So simply knowing how my hips naturally want to move already reveals a lot about my swing archetype. But how does this translate into actual power on the course?
Well, that's where ground forces come in, and this is where the research gets really, really cool. So Dr. Duffy, he's a biomechanics expert, uses this brilliant analogy.
Okay.
He says your swing is like a car.
Okay, I'm loving where this is going. You're saying my swing is like a car.
Like a car, yes.
Break it down for me.
Okay, so imagine this. Ground forces, those are your engine. That's where the power comes from.
Okay.
Your body acts as the transmission, transferring that power.
Right.
And your arms, hands, club, that's your steering wheel, directing the energy.
Wow. So if I'm a rear post golfer,
Yes.
I've got a rear wheel drive system that changes how I hit the gas, right?
Exactly. You'll utilize those ground forces differently than, say, a front post golfer who's more like a front wheel drive.
Right.
Trying to,
Right.
make a front wheel drive car perform like a rear wheel drive just won't work.
Wow. This is blowing my mind a little bit.
It's pretty cool stuff.
So you're telling me that trying to copy Tiger's swing might actually be hurting my Y game?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if your natural tendencies are totally different.
Right.
It's like telling someone to hit the gas when they should be braking.
Okay, this is huge. It seems like understanding my swing archetype is like getting the owner's manual for my game.
I like that.
Yay,
Yeah.
finally. Okay, I'm ready to pop the hood on these different engines.
Yeah.
Let's start with those rear post players, those Lydia Kos of the world.
Yeah.
What makes their swing so unique?
Well, remember that smooth, fluid motion towards their trail side we talked about?
Right.
That right there, that's key to how they generate so much power.
So it's not just about flexibility, it's about how they use that movement, right?
Exactly. Imagine like a coiled spring.
Okay.
They create space by loading onto that trail leg during the backswing.
Right.
And then bam,
Wow.
all that stored energy is just released as they push off, generating incredible club head speed.
Wow. It's like they're using the ground to just catapult the club head forward.
They are.
Fascinating. Okay, what about center post players then, like our Tigers and our Rorys? They seem to blend those front and rear post tendencies, don't they?
They do. Center post golfers, they're like the all-wheel drive of the golf swing.
Okay.
They can utilize both lateral and vertical forces in this really balanced way, loading onto both legs during their backswing.
So they're not as laterally driven as the rear post players,
Right.
but they're not quite as vertically oriented as, say, a Bryson DeChambeau.
Precisely. Their power comes from this combination of turning, lowering their body through the downswing, and then pushing up through impact. It's this really beautiful blend of power and control.
Yeah, it really is. I'm starting to see how knowing my own archetype can help me unlock, like, a whole new level of consistency, you know?
Absolutely. And this is where, I think this research really challenges those traditional golf myths.
Yeah.
For example,
To me one.
remember that old adage, keep your head down?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it turns out that might not be the best advice for everyone.
Wait, really? I thought keeping your head down was like golf 101.
It's repeated all the time.
Yeah.
But what matters more is maintaining a consistent spine angle throughout your swing.
Okay.
And that might mean that your head moves a little bit differently depending on your archetype.
Interesting. So even something as seemingly basic as head movement is influenced by your individual swing style.
100%.
This is eye-opening. Are there any other golf myths that this research kind of debunks?
Well, another big one is this idea of one correct ball position for every golfer.
Oh, interesting.
Just like with head movement, ball
Yeah.
position.
Right.
It can vary depending on your archetype
Oh, okay.
and how you naturally shift your weight.
So a front post player might benefit from the ball a little bit further forward in their stance,
Right.
while a rear post player might find more success with it back a little bit further.
Exactly. It's about finding what works best for your unique movement patterns. And that's also where, working with a knowledgeable coach
Right.
who understands these archetypes can be incredibly valuable because they can help you identify those natural tendencies
Right.
and then design a practice plan that really maximizes your strengths.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like finally getting the right prescription glasses after years of blurry vision.
Okay.
But how do I actually figure out which archetype I am? It's like we've cracked the code on personalized golf instruction, right?
I think so.
But you're right. How do we figure out our own archetypes? Is there some sort of like diagnostic test, or do I need to set up a high-speed camera on the driving range?
No, you don't need any expensive gadgets.
Okay, good.
The research that you send over actually includes some simple assessments that you can do right at home.
Okay, phew. So no lab coats required.
No lab coats required.
That's a relief. What kind of assessments are we talking about?
So they involve things like mimicking swing motions,
Okay.
feeling how your weight shifts,
Right.
even just observing how you naturally turn your body.
Okay.
It's about tapping into your body's inherent movement patterns.
Okay. So I can discover my swing archetype just by, like, paying closer attention to how my body naturally wants to move.
Exactly.
That's cool. It's kind of empowering in a way, you know? But, so let's say I've gone through the assessments, I've identified my archetype. Then what? What do I do with this information?
That's where the fun begins. You can start exploring drills and exercises specifically designed to kind of like really enhance your archetype strengths.
Yeah.
It's about working with your body, not against it.
So no more forcing myself into positions that feel unnatural or trying to copy someone else's swing because it looks cool.
Yeah, no more of that. So for example, let's say you discover you're a rear post player. You might benefit from drills that really emphasize that lateral movement and powerful trail leg push-off we talked about.
Okay.
Really feel that coil and release.
Right. Whereas like a front post player might focus on like exercises that strengthen that lead leg drive and,
Yeah.
promote that early vertical force production, that basketball jump shot thing we were talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You got it. It's all about, like you said, identifying your strengths
Right.
and tailoring your practice accordingly. So instead of this one-size-fits-all approach, you're creating like a personalized roadmap to a more powerful and consistent golf swing.
Man, this has been honestly such a game changer. I'm really excited to kind of take this information and run with it,
Right, yeah.
It's not just about understanding the mechanics,
Wow.
but embracing the individuality of my own personal swing.
Yeah,
So thank you for, diving into this with me. I really appreciate it.
my pleasure. And remember, I think the biggest takeaway here is that there is no perfect swing.
Mm-hmm.
There's just the most effective swing for you.
Love it.
So, embrace those unique movement patterns and watch your game reach new heights.
Absolutely. Yeah. And for everyone listening, we want to hear your experiences. What aha moments did you have during this deep dive? Head over to our website and let us know. Until next time, happy golfing.